Hello, magandang araw na naman mga kababayan, our fellow Filipinos here in America, in the Philippines, and across the globe. Welcome back to Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika. Ito na naman ang inyong kaibigan, si Teddy Molina. At nasa kabila naman ang ating co-host, walang iba, si Mr. Dan Nino, the President of the Philippine Global Media Group that is based in Los Angeles, California. Ako po naman ay nandito sa San Francisco. Take it away, Dan.
Mga kababayan sa Pilipinas, sa California at sa Estados Unidos at saka iba't ibang parte ng mundo. Nandito uli po kami para maglahad, magay-himay ng aming mga nakalap na opinion sa ating mga kababayan dito sa California. At gusto namin ibahagi sa inyo para malaman ninyo ang sa opinion ng ating mga kababayan dito, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, dahil ang Pilipinas at ating mga kababayan doon ay mahalaga pa rin sa amin. Gusto pa rin namin na ang ating mga kababayan sa buong mundo ay marinig ang aming mga kuro-kuro dito para tayong lahat ay magkaroon ng idea kung ano ang nangyayari sa ating bayang Sinilangan. Back to you, Ted.
Okay mga kaibigan, at sa episode na ito ng ating Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika na ma-access ninyo through our YouTube channel o Rodeo TV channel. Itatakal natin ang nangyaring second week ng ating impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa Pilipinas. Sa pangalawang witness nila, ang NBI Regional Director, si Attorney Jeremy Lotok, at another issue is ano naman ang ating asahang mangyayari sa susunod the week 3, pangatlo Dan, right?
Yeah.
Week number 3 ng impeachment trial. Medyo exciting po yung inihintay natin na week number 3 dahil dalawa ang magiging subject matter dyan. Una, kung bubuksan ba, magbibigay ba ang ating impeachment court, mga senator judges, ng subpoena juris tecum para sa mga financial records ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Gaya ng ang kanyang BIR tax records, yung so-called greenbacks, nakita ninyo, na-flash sa screen natin during the House prosecution hearings and partly nung umpisa ng ating impeachment trial sa Pilipinas. Bubuksan ba finally? Magbibigay ba ng aprobahan ba yung motion to subpoena na i-file ng prosecution para doon sa BIR tax records, para doon sa AMLAC records, at another important record ay ang kanyang bank records, mga kaibigan. At ayan ay malalaman natin sa Lunes kung ano ang desisyon ng mga senator judges natin. At pangatlong, I'm sorry. At ang pangalawang subject matter nila sa next week, mag-umpisa sa Martes, isasalang ang next witness ng prosecution, walang iba kundi ang kontrobersyal at matapang na si NBI Director Magtibay. And last but not the least, itong episode nating ito ng Usapang Pinoy sa Amerika, si Alex Ayala, the international tennis sensation, pride of all of us Filipinos. Meron kaming i-share sa inyo ni Dan mamaya. Meron kaming kunting personal attachment, if you can call that, kay Alex Ayala. Abangan nyo yan. And one of this is, ang hindi nyo pa alam, ang maraming hindi nakakaalam, ay si Alex Ayala Herdad, ang ancestry nila ay ang province of Ilocos Sur. Mamaya, itatakal natin yan. At si Dan, mayroon ding idadagdag mamaya. Kasi he is very close to an Ayala relative. Ayala relative, I mean. Ayala relative.
Or Alexandra. Ayala.
Dan, now, ano ang tingin mo, Dan? As usual, again, meron tayong scorecard, right? Numpusan
Yeah.
natin last week, yung the first week of the impeachment trial. Ano ang score mo sa nangyari sa second week of the impeachment trial kung saan isinalang si NBI Regional Director, Jeremy Lotok?
Okay. Alam mo, Ted,
Take it away.
yeah. Alam mo, Ted, they want to rattle Attorney Lotok. They want to confuse him. But nanindigan siya, Ted. He came out strong because sabi niya, no matter what you throw to me or questions to confuse me, it doesn't alter the fact that he threatened the president, the first lady, and the former speaker, Romualdez. Narinig naman ng lahat. So there's no point to really go to the nitty-gritty or the most detailed information, kung pati yung typo errors or typographical errors, yung date. Pero sabi nga niya, it won't alter the fact that he uttered this grave threat, which is criminal, and it is seditious. So he came out strong as far as I'm concerned. And then, kung yung subpoena for the BIR records.
Teka bra, mamaya yan.
Including,
Tapusin mo muna yung
yeah, okay.
yung nangyari niya pagsalang kay Director
Yeah, okay.
Regional Director NBI
Yeah.
NBI
Yeah.
Jeremy Lotok.
Yeah. Gusto nilang
Demo. Ang
pinamaliit.
tanong dyan, Dan, nasira ba nila ang credibility ni Jeremy Lotok?
Sa aking opinion, Ted, hindi nila nasira. Dahil he was deliberate, maginoo, at hindi siya nagpakita ng pagka-rattle o pagka-nervyos. Talagang ginawa niyang lahat para masagot ang tanong ng mga senator judges at saka yung counsel for the defense.
Alam mo ba na 11 hours pala ang kanyang na-consume sa witness stand?
I know.
That's very taxing.
Of
In the
course.
face of senator judges like the Cayetano siblings. You know how hard-hitting were the questions raised to him by especially by Alan Peter Cayetano. And then meron pang Senator Robin Padilla who tried to destroy his credibility, di ba?
Yes.
Pero throughout all this, he stood his ground. Believe ako. Kay Atty. Lotok. At what stands out, I think, hindi lang sa atin, kundi sa marami, yung kanyang sinagot kay Robin Padilla, pare. Itong sinagot niya. Kasi sabi niya kasi, You remember, si Senator Padilla, meron siya ang kapal ng papeles na hawak niya.
Correct.
Parang, kung
Voluminous.
ka sa mga ganong sitwasyon ay matatakot ka.
Mhm.
It was just like trying to scare him, pero relax na relax. Sabi ni, ipaalala mo, sabi ni Senator Padilla alam mo, nasa akin, ang dami mong ang kakapal nito. Parang he was trying to suggest na
Correct.
pinapakita na niya kung gaano kakapal. Ito, marami kang kaso. Nalaman daw niya, na-research niya, marami daw siyang kaso. Stands out. Ito, nag-stand out sa testimony niya sa tingin ko. Normal po sa mga NBI agents ang nakakasuhan. That's the price we have to pay for doing our job and for love of country. Wow!
Yeah,
Yeah, very touching.
of
Ano
course.
sa tingin mo?
Ay, yung pagkatapos, after na nasagot niya yung TED, tinagtanong pa itong si Padilla na dahil na-assign ka sa regional director sa BARM
Yeah.
doon sa Mindanao, alam mo ba ang meron ka bang idea sa religion ng Muslim? Dahil doon ka na-assign sa Mindanao, sa BARM, sabi niya, I don't know if that was relevant, Ted, but sinabi ni Attorney Lotok na hindi, wala, I don't have a lot of ideas about Islam religion in Mindanao because I'm a Christian.
Yeah, in the first place Dan, hindi naman requirement sa government service kung ano ang religious belief mo, di ba?
Yun na nga,
Ang requirement lang,
irrelevant.
qualified ka. Bakit irrelevant nga talaga? Yung meron ka bang alam sa Muslim culture, kaya ka napunta doon? I think it has no
Nasa Equator,
uh,
doesn't
parang pag
follow.
sinasabi mo sa isang Bisaya na nai-transfer sa Ilocos, marunong ka bang mag-Ilocano? Bakit ka na-promote doon sa lugar na yon? Hindi naman, basta Pilipino.
Oh,
It doesn't matter what province or region you come from, whether you know the culture there, that's not an issue in your promotion, di ba?
oo nga. Pero ito patid, pinapagdudahan si Attorney Lotok na sa kanyang promotion, kung malakas siya sa powers that be, kaya siya na i-promote. Si Attorney Lotok, he comes from a humble family, Ted. His parents were fishermen, and he even went as a seafarer, went out of the country as a seafarer para umangat yung kanilang buhay.
Yeah.
And then pagbalik niya, kumuha siya ng abogasya. Hindi pa siya proud sa kanya na despite the fact that he was born under humble beginnings,
Yeah.
na nakaangat siya dahil alam mo Ted, hindi basta-basta makapasok sa NBI. You should be a CPA and a lawyer.
Hallelujah. Kaya nga, marami siyang pinagdaanan pagsubok at we should congratulate him for surviving all the odds. Pati yung Typhoon Yolanda, di ba?
Yes. Oh, yes.
He lost his father and his wife.
Ay, my God. Yes.
Alam mo,
Masakit yun, Ted.
ibang tao niya na kung nangyari sa ibang tao yan, madedepers ka na.
Oo.
And yet, he was able to rise.
From the ranks.
No, from the incident. Kasi,
Yes.
basta-basta mawawalan ng ama at saka yung asawa mo mismo. And he struggled and he's now he's a lawyer and serving at the NBI. Maganda rin ang kanyang life story.
Of course.
Kaya, pero still, they were trying to discredit him, di ba?
Undermine his credit. Yeah, but he came out strong.
Pero we cannot blame them. Kaya ng sinabi natin nung last episode natin, previous episode natin, ay talagang ganyan ang tendency ng defense or anybody who takes the line of the defense, in which case parang ganun ang nangyari sa questioning ni Robin Padilla.
Right.
Tinutulungan niya ang defense to destroy the credibility ng testigo. But they did not succeed, sa tingin ko. So, anong score mo?
Ay, nakakalamang pa rin ng prosecution ngayon, Ted. Dahil, okay, ito pa. At narinig ko rin ng mga ibang kuro-kuro ng mga opinion makers natin sa Pilipinas, lalo na rin kay former Senate President Frank Drilon.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, kung yung mga minute details na yon, sabi niya, baka mabore na yung mga tao kasi ang impeachment trial na ito, Ted, is a political exercise.
Yeah.
Hindi ito judicial exercise. Kasi yung ang respondent ay in this trial ay hindi naman siya makukulong eh.
Yeah, hindi naman.
Kung if it is under the jurisdiction of the court, judicial court, but this one, you'll be either you'll retain your post or you'll be asked to resign.
Hindi ka naman, yeah, or you can have the option to resign, just like what
You have the option to resign or you will be impeached.
Former Vice President President Estrada did, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero, so that's it. So, kaya nga, mabuti kung magiginig ang defense dahil sobra ang kanilang pag-focus sa technicalities, di ba?
Yes.
As if they are before a court of law. I mean, a trial court. Pero,
right.
Impeachment court ito eh. Alright. So, ano ang aasahan natin sa next week, pare? Kasi ay naabangan natin ang decision ng impeachment court dito sa motion ng prosecution to subpoena, to issue a subpoena as regards to the financial records ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
Okay.
Namely, yung BIR
tax record niya.
The BIR box. Dahil nandun ang tax records niya. Yung bank records niya. At saka yung AMLAC records.
Right.
Alright. Ano sa tingin mo ang mangyayari dyan?
Yeah. Kung wala kang kasalanan talaga, Ted, you should allow the impeachment court to open it. Kasi halimbawa, ang iyong income for the year is halimbawa 10 million, halimbawa lang. Tapos ang sa AMLAC mo is or ang nakalapong kayamanan is 100 or 1 billion. That's a big discrepancy. 'Di ba? Kung if you're honest or kung wala kang tinatago, then let them see your income tax return. Okay. At ang defense naman nila noon, dahil pati ba yung vice mayor pa siya, kinalkal pa rin, of course, lahat ng mga paraan dyan ikukumpara mo kung saan nanggaling. Nanggaling ba sa tamang paraan, sa sweldo mo, at biglang parang lumobo ang income mo. Kaya patunayan mo. Di ba?
Yeah.
At ngayon kung di sumipot ka sa impeachment trial, Ted, kung wala kang ikinukubli, kung wala kang tinatago, sumipot ka sa impeachment trial.
Exactly, pare. Kaya tama yung sinabi mo. Dapat open book.
Open book.
Kung maalala mo, sinabi ni Vice President Duterte, Sara Duterte, nung araw doon sa House. I mean, her comment tungkol sa hearing sa House. You remember, Committee on Justice, tungkol dito sa impeachment case niya, complaint sa kanya. Sabi niya, I will face that in the proper forum. Saan yung proper forum? Dito na. So, she should advise her defense team to allow the impeachment court to issue yung subpoena as requested by the prosecution, di ba?
Yeah,
Ito na ang proper forum.
correct. Yeah.
At saka kung talagang walang itinatago, as you said, there's nothing to fear about. Right, Don, so ano ang expectation mo or your prediction ang mangyayari sa Monday when the senators will vote on the motion of the prosecution to subpoena BP Sara's financial records?
Okay. Of course, I expect more fireworks, Ted.
Yeah.
Siyempre, yung defense, aangal yan sa aking palagay dahil siyempre they want to protect the case of Biffy Sara. Of course, the lawyers or her lawyers are being paid, I believe. So, of course, that's why she selected all these supposed to be top-notch lawyers to defend her to the hilt. But alam mo, pag kung maraming ebidensya ang prosecution na may lalahad nila, yung kanilang pag-object or defense, maka-question or mababaliwala yung Ted dahil hawak nila eh. Kaya ngayon kung they want to refute the evidence or testimonies, then she has to appear, Ted. There's no other court but for her to appear.
So, anong tingin mo na resulta ng botohan sa
Ay,
subpoena issue?
the overall impeachment, kung
Sa
makukonvict siya
subpoena,
o
sa subpoena issue.
ay, of course, 30 na sila ngayon na majority.
Lalabas, papasa.
Yeah, papasa siyempre dahil the minority is only 9.
Well, parang parehas din tayo ng prediction pare na papasa at dahil walang option ang mga senators eh. I mean, those who really would follow the rules.
Mhm.
Kasi una, exempted sa impeachment case yung bank secrecy law na tinatawag.
Aha.
Diba?
Yes.
Yung bank secrecy law, bawal mag-open ng bank records ni naman, di ba?
Mhm.
Except in cases of impeachment.
Aha, right.
Kaya nga nabuksan yung bank records ni Presidente Estrada noon.
Right.
Dahil, di ba, lumabas sa account so-called
Yeah.
na where he deposited among others yung weteng payo na niya.
Yeah.
Di ba? At that being the president already in the impeachment case of President Estrada, former President Estrada, as backed up by what the law on bank secrecy provides, na exempted ang sa bank secrecy ang impeachment cases. So they have no recourse sa tingin ko, yung mga senators, but to allow the opening of the bank records.
And in addition to that, Ted,
si Presidente. Di ba?
and in addition to that, Ted, is during the impeachment trial of Supreme Court Justice Renato Corona.
Yes.
Remember, he had
Yung BIR naman niya.
deposits at the Katipunan branch of Philippine Savings Bank, I think. So, and he was subpoenaed, but then BIR Commissioner Hinares asked the authority of the president, kasi yung boss niya si President Nonoy Aquino, and he approved.
Kaya nga, yan din ang isang
second
president.
time.
Another president sa nangyari sa impeachment ni Justice Corona, di ba?
Correct, yeah.
Na yung bank, sinubpena na naman ng impeachment court
Right.
Kanyang BIR
Records or
their tax records.
and
Records
income
sa
tax
BIR.
return, yes.
So, and it and Commissioner Henares, as you said, after she was subpoenaed to appear before the impeachment court, also asked the permission,
Uh-huh.
the approval of then President
Noynoy Aquino.
Noynoy Aquino, di ba?
Right.
And so another president. So how
Yes.
can they ignore this? Nangyari na in previous impeachment cases. So ang prediction ko rin dyan ay mapasa yung motion ng prosecution. Now,
Correct.
para sa tingin ko dan, sa tingin ko, ang bone of contention lang dyan na maaaring pag-usapan ng mga pro-Duterte senators at saka yung majority group
Mhm.
kung anong extent, anong scope,
Oh.
anong year mag-umpisa na bubuksan ang
Oh my
financial
God.
records na ito. Kasi
Uh-huh.
diyan madugo ang discussion siguro. Kaya sabi mo,
Correct, yes.
kasi ang pro-DDS senators, so-called, ay gusto nila, ay buksan lang nila yung financial record niya magsimula noong 2022 when she became vice president.
Uh-huh.
Ang gusto na naman ng prosecution ay when she was still a vice mayor. So, abangan natin
Abangan natin.
anong maging decision nila finally kung anong year mag-umpisa.
Yes.
And
Okay.
that will be interesting to see, mga kaibigan, mga kababayan.
Right.
Di ba, Dan?
Oo. Pero be that as it may, Ted,
Yeah.
kung yung AMLAC, yung anti-laundering, at saka yung mga testimony ni yung dati niyang bagman o taga-distribute ng pera, taga-deliver, Ted, i-corroborate niya or mag-testify yon, sira na rin siya dahil i-corroborate sa mga testimony ng mga witnesses.
Exactly. At yung nag-testify yung executive director already, di ba?
Right, yeah.
Basing from AMLAC records, sabi niya,
Yeah.
total amount of 6.7 billion
Mhm.
of transactions.
Yes.
You remember na under the mandate of the AMLAC, they shall investigate yung any bank account in excess of 500 million, di ba?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So, yun ang coverage nila dito and the total, as per the testimony of the executive director ng AMLAC, ang total ay 6.7 billion.
True.
Pero, Dan, ito yung record na tinestify niya sa lower house, sa Committee on Justice, ay mag-umpisa nung vice mayor siya. So,
Mhm.
yan ang sinasabi ko, papayag kaya yung mga pro-Duterte senators na mag-umpisa nung vice mayor siya. Ang tingin ko ay kanila lang gustong mabuksan ay mula nung nag-vice president siya. So, hindi na 6.7 billion ang mga ang lalabas na kwenta niyan kasi nung vice mayor pa siya. So, let's wait.
Well,
Kung
let's wait.
anong magiging decision finally ng
Right.
ng impeachment court.
Correct, yeah.
Ba? Pare. Alright, so ayan, at wag mong kalimutan. At issue here also is yung kanyang sa next article ng impeachment ay yung kanyang alleged paggamit ng 500 million peso na confidential funds niya sa Office of the Vice President at saka 112.5 million naman na confidential funds niya as Department of Education Secretary.
Mhm.
Dito lumalabas yung testimony sa Committee on Justice na intelligence funds niya, confidential funds niya ang mga recipients ay questionable people, di ba?
Correct.
Like your favorite Mary Grace Piatos. For a total amount ng confidential funds sa both agencies, sa opisina niya as Vice President at saka sa DepEd, 612.5 million. Yan din ang
Yeah.
at issue dyan sa susunod na article ng of impeachment na ipoprove nila. Okay, Dan?
Kaya dito na makakaalaman, Ted, sa mga ganitong uh, impeachment trial, ilahad mo yung inyong mga counter affidavit, counter testimony, or counter witnesses para makaalaman na. Wala nang tinatago. Ted, kaya at kung on top of that, kung yung niyang humarap, di humarap siya. Kaya this
Kung harap si Vice President Duterte o kahit hindi humarap, kailangan patunayan ngayon ng each
patunayan.
patunayan ng defense counsels niya
Simple as
na
that.
yung mga questionable names na listed as recipients ng confidential fund niya ay totoong mga tao. They have
Oo.
to prove that.
Correct.
Diba?
Kasi
This is
siguro
a
by that
chance.
time, magsasalita na rin siguro si Chief of Staff niya, si Laika Lopez, Attorney Zulaika or si Laika Lopez. Baka she might be compelled to testify.
Kung ihaharap ng defense.
Either way. Both.
You remember, she was listed as one of the witnesses of the prosecution, pero
Right.
kinansel ng prosecution, di ba?
Kasi napanood na natin kasi noon nung
At
nag-testify siya sa
meron pang isang kasama si Atty. Lopez na kinansel ng prosecution, certain
Right.
Captain Bello, di ba?
Yeah.
I don't know kung anong connection ni Captain Bello sa isyong ito. But
Oo.
anyway, so pag-usapan natin ang ano ang mangyayari na naman sa Martes. Remember, sa Martes isasalang si Director Matibag ng NBI. Dito, sa tingin ko, more fireworks ito. Especially between Matibag and Director
Yeah.
Matibag and Senator Alan Peter
Yeah.
Cayetano. You
Correct.
remember? Sa
I know.
tingin ko,
Oo.
madugo ito.
Madugo yan.
After yung dalawa, for the
Oo.
first time, after that,
Shooting.
yung nangyari, na shooting incident sa
Right.
Senado.
Oo.
Di ba? Wherein,
Lalabas siya makakalkal yan, Ted.
Alan Peter Cayetano blamed the NBI na sila daw ang
Yung pala,
unang nag-shooting,
Oo.
paputok. Pero
Yung pala. Siya
after
flash pa.
investigation by law enforcement authorities, hindi naman pala. yung, yung palang grupo ng
Sergeant at Arms.
Sergeant at Arms ng Senado,
Yes.
together with a group of security men of the Senate. Sila
Yeah.
ang nag-umpisa. And so, that started their animosity.
Yeah.
Tapos, recently, very recently, in-announce naman Director Matibag na imbestigahan niya yung participation ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano as chairman ng Philippines Southeast Asia Games Organizing Committee in 2019, kung saan nangyari ang SEA Games noong 2019 sa Pilipinas, involving, according to the report of Rappler, 7.5 billion. Yeah, 7.5 billion pesos. According to the news report of Rappler. Basahin ko mga kaibigan. Ah. Sometime in early 2018, government agencies were drafting the proposed national budget for 2019. At the time, Cayetano, referring to Alan Peter, was still DFA Secretary, or the Department of Foreign Affairs Secretary, and simultaneously FISGOC Chairman. Ito po yung Philippines Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee. FISGOC for short. Chairman si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano noon. Now, ito ang continuation ng news report ng Rappler. Even if the DFA has no mandate to help develop sports in the Philippines,
Oo nga.
7.5 billion pesos was inserted
Uh-huh.
in the agency's budget for the hosting of the 2019 SEA Games. It was done, Cayetano said, out of expediency with approval from no less than Malacanang.
Wow.
Yan po ang binasa ko sa news report ng Red Flag. Ay, news report ng Rappler, which is subtitled Red Flag, Transferring Budgets.
Kaya,
Take it away, Dan.
marami siyang ipapaliwanag, Ted, kaya makakalkal lahat yan. At kung aasta-asta sa doon na medyo parang siyang bida-bida, magbida-bidahan, pare ko, pare Ted.
You're referring to Senator Cayetano, si Alan.
Yes. At inaayunan siya ng kanyang kapatid na si Pia, ay doon na makakaalaman, Ted, kung aasta-asa sila ng parang sila ang kung sila ang naghari-harian.
Kaya abangan natin, mga
Oo.
kaibigan. Huwag kayong mawawala na mag-abang sa impeachment trial, continuation ng impeachment trial sa Martes.
Oo.
Ito. Kasi nakita naman natin yung galit ng dalawang Cayetano senators,
Uh-huh.
which they expressed on the impeachment court during the session and during the impeachment court proceedings. Sila ang nag-raise ng isyong yan.
Correct.
Nagalit sila dahil sa ginawa ni Matibag na pag-imbestiga dito. Kaya abangan natin yan. So, it looks like very exciting and interesting, Dan.
Oo.
Pero I hope na hindi malilihis
Oo.
sa real issue at hand. Kaya siya tinawag sa Senado
Yeah.
for the impeachment trial. Yung
Right.
pagtistigo niya as a prosecution witness, Dan.
Yeah. Correct ka dyan, Ted, at hindi lang yun, baka mami sabihin naman ni Pia na hindi man lang kami kinamusta. Hindi daw siya kinamusta kung anong lagay na nila. Yung pala, they were having their coffee time. Sweet time. Kaya puro inconsistent itong dalawang itong magkapatid eh.
Yeah. All right, Dan. So, so much for that. At itakal na natin yung last topic natin sa episode ito. As we announced earlier sa introduction ng ating episode for today's podcast, yung tungkol naman sa kay Alex Iyala, ang pride ng Pilipinas.
Of course.
Alam mo, at alam din natin mga kababayan ay siya ay binigyan ng dinner reception ng no less than President Bongbong Marcos doon sa Malacanang Palace.
Parangal.
Yeah.
Sa isang world tennis sensation.
Yeah, exactly. Kaya alam talaga naman na pwede nating ipagmayabang si nag-iisang Pilipina on top of the tennis
circuit.
World.
Buong
mundo. I mean, one of the top tennis players. Biro mo, tinalo niya yung number 3 na reigning champion ng Wimbledon.
Yes.
25 champion. Si
Right.
Iga Swiatek, right?
Yes, Iga Swiatek.
Swiatek. Yeah,
Yeah,
Swiatek. Yeah. Although the spelling is Swatek.
right.
So, Iga Swiatek. Napanood mo yon?
Oh yeah,
Number
oo.
3, seeded tennis player at reigning champion ng Wimbledon.
Yes.
Kaibigan, mga kapwa Pilipino. Lalo na yung mga hindi masyadong ah, nakakaalam sa larong tennis. Ang
Nakakasubaybay.
Wimbledon po, o nakakasubaybay, ang Wimbledon po ang pinakamataas na
Ang
ah,
prestigious.
na venue where the best of the best tennis players in the world
Yes.
ang naglalaro diyan. At tinalo ng ating kapwa Pilipino in the person of Alex Yala, ang reigning champion, 2025 champion ng Wimbledon.
Yes. Kaya, my goodness.
Tumataas ang aking balahibo dan.
Kaya,
That's
alam mo,
an
Ted,
exceptional accomplishment for her na I hope he will go on hanggang maging champion siya.
correct. Bata pa naman siya, Ted.
Napanood mo yun, ano?
Oo, Ted.
Napanood eh.
At because of that, Ted, baka makalimutan ko,
Oo.
nung tinatalo na niya, kasi hanggang 3 rounds yun eh. Match point, maraming match points. So, nafo-frustrate si Swiatek kaya pati yung kanyang tennis racket, binabato niya, Ted, nagagalit kasi bakit
Tinalo siya. Tinalo siya ni Yala.
tinalo siya kanyang uh, ranking is 29 ranking at tinatalo siya. Kaya galit na galit itong si Swiatek, Ted.
Nagtatantram habang
Temper tantrum siya.
wow.
Napanood ko. At ang kaganda nito, Ted, kaya di ba sinabi mo kanina na meron tayong uh, personal na relationship.
Exactly, yung
Kasi,
pala tatanungin ko sa iyo, ikwento mo nga sa ating mga bayan na
yeah.
kilala mo ba ang pamilya ni Alex Yala?
Ang attachment ng kanyang lolo na si Brad Bobby Maniego, yun ang kanyang lolo na nag-train kay Alexandra or
Ayun yung
Alex
grandfather
Ayala.
niya na sinasabi ni Alex Yala sa mga interview niya na nung bata pa siya, siya ang sumasama sa kanya na naglilid sa kanya sa tennis court na mag-practice at
Oo,
nung bata pa siya. At
nagigising ng maaga.
kasama din niya yung isang brother niya. Brother ni
Sa
Alex.
brother niya, sa kanya lolo si Bobby Maniego. Si Bobby Maniego
Yun ang kilala mo.
is my fraternity brother sa UP.
Oh, fraternity brother mo.
Oo. Batch 1961 siya. Nauna siya sa amin. But yun. Kaya meron kaming attachment sa kanyang lolo na nag-train sa kanya. At bago siya papasok sa eskwela niya, Ted, ensayo muna siya. Tapos after classes, nagpa-practice uli. Kaya tingnan mo yung kanyang ginawa na maagang-maaga.
Anong oras?
Papasok sa eskwela.
Bago pumasok, anong oras?
Ay, magka-practice siya mga 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, that's really,
Bata-bata pa siya noon.
puta, ganon ka serious ang practice niya.
Alright, oo.
At kasama niya yung lolo niya.
Oo, kasama yung lolo niya.
Wow. And then, after school,
After school.
sasamahan na naman si lolo niya.
Oo. Kaya with the full support of her family, and then later on she was given a scholarship to train under the supervision of tennis champion si Nadal from Spain.
Oh,
Yeah, he
wow.
was
Siya
given
nag-training
scholarship.
sa kanya. Nagka-scholarship siya pumunta doon. Oh, wow.
Oo.
Rafael Nadal yata. Ang pangalan,
Rafael Nadal, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. So doon siya na bigyan ng further training.
Oh. Back to ito naman sa kanyang yung taga saan ang Mama Niego. Di ba sabi mo nasa Ilocos Sur?
Hindi, Iyala. Yung Iyala family is from Ilocos Sur.
Ayala family, Ayala. Okay.
Yung sa iyo, yung kilala mo, yung grandfather niya, who is your fraternity brother?
Right. So
Can
Alpha
we
Phi
men
Omega.
can we mention your fraternity?
Alpha Phi Omega or Alpha Phi Omega.
Yeah.
Then
Anong chapter mo? Psi chapter?
Psi chapter,
At
that's
siya
Central
naman.
Solar. And then during when I took my postgraduate studies, I was a co-founder of the Gamma Kappa chapter sa Ateneo de Manila Loyola Heights campus.
And then yung grandfather ni Alex, saan chapter
Sa
mo?
UP naman, sa ETA
Ayun, chapter.
chapter.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I see.
Batch 1961 siya.
Very lucky at nakadaupang palad mo rin yung kanyang grandfather. And at that time, hindi pa sikat si Alex, ano?
Yeah, hindi pa yan.
Buhay pa ba ang grandfather niya?
Ay, patay na,
I see.
Ted.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Pero he is happy wherever he is now.
Of course.
yung sakripisyo niya nag-pay off.
I know, yeah.
Ako naman, sa part ko naman, di ba, alam mo ang Taga Ilocosur ang roots ko, di ba?
Oo.
And I am proud to say that Alex Ayala's dad, his heritage is also from the province of Ilocosur,
Wow.
particularly in the town of San Esteban.
Uh-huh. Okay.
It's a beautiful town in our province, seaside town.
Oh, agad
Yeah,
pala yun.
maganda. Magandang ang beach resort nila doon.
Oh, I see.
For that matter, alam mo ba na nagpasa ng isang resolution of commendation ang Provincial Board of Ilocosur? Nalaman ko lang ito kagabi eh.
Oh.
At ito ay authored, yung resolution na yon ay authored by Sangguniang Panlalawigan member Pablito Sanidad Junior.
Uh-huh.
Ito ang anak ni kaibigan natin, si Attorney Pablito Sanidad Sr. Nakabase ngayon sa Baguio at formerly mayor ng Narbacan at isang sikat at prominenteng lawyer, top-notcher in the bar.
Right.
At former undersecretary ng Department of Labor during the time of the late President Cory Aquino.